Hello and welcome to Part 11 of Innovative Spelling, where we cover the top 100 most frequently misspelled words. Our focus words today are going to be those tricky homophones, there, and there. Now let's check out those spelling strategies to help you better understand when and how to spell these three words.
Hello and welcome to Part 11. Here's our new space. I heard some of the feedback you guys were giving me about how the other one was a little more distracting and weren't able to see as well, so I moved out of my classroom on into here, so hopefully that'll help you out because I want you to be able to see and hear what we're doing. Also wanted to mention in a previous video, I believe it's number 3, we talked about putting these words together in video 17. But again, listened to feedback, thought about the structure and the organization of all the videos, and realized that what we need is some more, I heard your quest to have some more juicier, bigger words, so I pushed these up to the top so we can get some bigger, meatier words for you guys to get some spelling strategies on. So I wanted to make sure I told you that. Let's get to our words. We have 3 words this time. There, and there. It's a triad. They all sound the same. They're homophones. They all sound the same. But they're spelled differently, so I'm going to give you some spelling strategies to kind of help you remember how to spell them. And they're also used differently in the context of a sentence, so I'll give you some ways to kind of know which ones to use and how to use them, when to use them, and all that. Let's start with there, which we've done already in part 3. And but let's cover it again just to remind you. The word there is a placement word, or like a position word, and the way that we remembered how to spell it was we knew that the word here, we've already covered here, most people know how to spell this word, so it's just a matter of remembering this. And again, here we go with the sense of placement. Here, where, there. The movement helps us know it's about a placement or position. And in those sentences where we need to talk about placement or position, it's going to have the word here in it. And that's our cue to help us remember which one to use and how to spell it. That's an old one. Let's go to another one. There. It's a contraction. And I have a video on contractions. And a contraction means to contract or make smaller. And a lot of times for this one, people don't know where to put the apostrophe or put it in the wrong place. That tends to be the spelling issue people have. We've already done the word they, so it's just a matter of adding the extra little part. So let's take a look here. If we're talking about contractions again, contraction again is the bigger word made smaller, and it helps us with writing and making things easier when we're writing and speaking. We contract words like he is, he's, are not, aren't, cannot, can't. So we're making the word smaller. And usually the letter that drops out and is replaced with the apostrophe is the vowel most of the time. So here we have they are. All you do is you just swap out the A for the apostrophe. And that's our little spelling cue to help us. And again, when we're talking about the context of a sentence, they are is a pronoun and a verb. They are, there. And so anytime you can say the word they are in a sentence, then you're supposed to be using this contraction. Another one is there with the E-I-R. And a lot of people get confused and they don't know if it's the I-E or exactly, sometimes they know there is an I and E, but they don't know where to put them. And so I'll show you a couple ways to help you remember how to spell this one. I used to get confused on this all the time, and for me it was always, is it an E-I or I-E? And the simplest way for me to remember it is just to know that the beginning letters are the. English loves the TH and the sound. And so you see the word the. In fact, in all these, you see the word the. That is how I usually remember that word. But at the same time, I also like morphing words and kind of playing with words. And so I have another way to help you remember how to spell this one. It's a higher level word that maybe you haven't even heard before. It's called heir. And an heir is somebody who, you're an heir if somebody has something and they pass it on to you, usually through a family or through generations. And if they pass it on, it could be money, a car, a home, jewelry, things like that. So you're the heir to something. An heir can also not just be with things. An heir could be a person who gets like a position, like with a king or a queen. A king or a queen will have a prince or a princess. And the prince or princess are the heir to the throne. That means in time, the prince will become the king or the princess will become the queen. So it's like that position or rank, they're the heir to that. So let's take a look at my strategy of the words I like to play with on this one, now that you know what an heir is. He is the heir to their fortune, all their money. He is the heir to their fortune. And you might even be able to see, because you've seen enough of these videos, to know how I like to play with things. I see the word he, and the word there, and I see the word heir, and the word there. So he is the heir to their fortune. And I like to morph stuff. It's always the funnest way to do spelling strategies for me. So let's take a look at how you would do that. So he is the heir to their fortune, their money. I'll do it again. He is the heir to their fortune. So I like to morph it that way. If you want to focus more on the word the, you could do it that way too. Watch this. He is the heir to their fortune. See how I did the first? I'll show you one more time. He is the heir to their fortune. So you could do it that way. And often note that like when I'm writing, I'm not always stopping and like and then going up, working on a morph like this. Sometimes I just write the words and come back to it and then go, okay, did I spell it right? He is the, or he's the heir, and I see it that way. You can go back and check your work that way. It doesn't always have to happen while you're writing, because sometimes you just want to get your thoughts out. So there we go on those guys. That's the spelling strategy. Let's go ahead and look at when to use it in a sentence. There is a possessive pronoun. It shows ownership of something. It also goes with words like his, hers, your, our, like their book, our book, your book, her book. It's a pronoun, a possessive pronoun. So you use that in many different sentences. Like here you can see it. Whose fortune? Who owns the fortune? Who possesses it? There. But I want to give you an example of when you're in context, how to go ahead and use these. And what I usually do is I will replace this word with this one. So I'll replace there in a sentence with the word here. I'll replace the there in the sentence with the words they are. And I will replace the word there in this way with either the heirs or the word our. Let me give you some examples. So in a sentence, let's see if you can figure out which one sounds correct, and then we can connect the spelling to it. Set it here. Set it they are. Set it the heirs. Or set it our. So which one sounds right? Set it here, right? That's the best way. That one sounds the best. So we say set it here. Could just make it into set it there. These don't make any sense, so that would be the wrong spellings to put in this place. So let's try this one, the wrong spelling of there. Here happy, they are happy, the heirs happy, or our happy. Mine might be slightly confusing, but here happy doesn't make sense. They are happy, that makes sense. Our happy, the heirs happy, Well, if our happy doesn't make sense, then the heir's happy doesn't make sense. And remember, this heir is, again, it's a possessive to show ownership. The heir doesn't own happy. It's not the heir is happy, a contraction, it's possessive, showing ownership. So that doesn't work. They are happy would be right. And then we could just swap out that A for the apostrophe. They're happy. Last one. That is here book. Does it make sense? That is they are book. That is the heir's book. Probably. That is our book. Definitely. That is the correct spelling down there for sure. And so when you're talking about a context, this is how you kind of figure out the context. And of course, I'm sure your teacher and your classmates can all help you with this. And if it seems a little confusing, don't forget to practice it using your spelling cards or your spelling notebook, whatever you use. Also, we have a new thing online now. It's all 100 words with practice exercises. It's a whole book, about 100 and almost 50 pages, and it's under $10. So if you're interested in that, you can go to teacherspayteachers.com for it. But that will give you some other ways to practice this, and hopefully these will help you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks again for watching. Now remember, if you have any questions, comments, or you want to share your spelling strategies with me, go to teacherspayteachers.com. You can also find there the printable spelling cards, workbook, or even download the free PowerPoint presentation with all 5 different spelling strategy types. Remember, when you go to teacherspayteachers.com, to search under Innovative Spelling or Innovative Answers by Jolene. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.